But let me start with the 8 big developments on that dramatic story this morning. Massive setback to Sasikala Natarajan, ending her hopes of becoming the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. The Supreme Court this morning convicted late Jayalalitha's close aide in the disproportionate assets case, gave her a 4-year jail term. Chinnamma's chief ministerial hopes have been dashed. Sasikala has picked up 4-time MLA Edapadi Palanisamy as the AIDMK's chief ministerial nominee. Palanisamy meets the governor to stake a claim to form the government. Selvam and 19 other rebels are sacked from the AIDMK. The General Secretary Sasikala, though, says she is unlikely to surrender right away, wants to seek a reprieve on health grounds. Sources say Chinnamma is also considering a review petition of the court verdict. Meanwhile, Selvam fights on. His loyalist V. Maitriyan, the Rajya Sabha MP, met the Governor Vidyasagar Rao at the Raj Bhavan, continued to hold talks on government formation. In fact, Selvam today has gone ahead and issued an open invite to MLAs supporting Sasikala, keeps a van parked outside the resort where Sasikala is holding her MLAs. The caretaker chief minister likely to meet the governor tomorrow morning. The ball squarely now in Governor's court. Governor Vidyasagar Rao could call for a composite floor test as advised by the Attorney General, where both sides are invited to test their majority. Meanwhile, President's rule is also not being ruled out. The DMK has welcomed the Supreme Court verdict in the disproportionate assets case. MK Stalin appealing to the governor to appoint a stable government in the state. And as the governor continues to adopt a wait-and-watch policy, Union Minister Venkaiah Naidu has said Vidyasagar Rao will take an appropriate decision on the government formation in the state. Okay, lots to talk about, lots of big developments right through the day. The big questions first. Is it the end of Sasikala's political career, I'm asking today? Can Sasikala still remote control the AIDMK from prison? The big question now, who next will be the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu? Will it be OPS or Palanisamy? Can the OPS camp poach the MLAs of the other side and form a government? Will Palanisamy be as loyal to Sasikala as OPS was to Jayalalithaa? Has the governor been proved right in delaying that trust vote? Should the governor now order an immediate floor test, or is President's rule the only option for Tamil Nadu? Just some of the questions that we'll be raising today. I'm going to go to several guests, but I will also bring you all the big numbers. But first, I want to go to the man who has reason to celebrate this evening, Swamy, the veteran BJP MP who was part of the petition that resulted eventually in the conviction of Sasikala. Dr. Swamy, smile. Today is a day for you to smile. Do you see this as a day of victory for you? Or do you believe that this is a day where you need to reflect on why has Tamil Nadu politics reached this stage where first the Chief Minister gets convicted and goes to jail, now her aide goes to jail? Do you believe that this is the end of the road for Sasikala Natarajan?
Well, first of all, I follow Bhagavad Gita, so I'm neither elated nor depressed by any event. So don't expect me to smile when I win and frown when I lose. That is now not a part of my character. The issue is this, that a monumental judgment has been given, in the sense the observations of the judges are so tremendous that they inspire anybody who wants to fight against corruption. And certainly Sasikala and Jayalalithaa put up a terrific fight, and that's why it's taken 20 years. Now, as far as Sasikala is concerned, she is literally now out of electoral policies for 9 years, unless some court judgment comes to rescue her, which I can't see which it is. But the fact of the matter is that she still continues to enjoy the support of the party, and the party has not disintegrated as the propaganda has gone on. I know that Selvam is the candidate of the media, so he doesn't have to produce any results, any lists of MLAs supporting him. But Palanisamy has produced a list of 125 or 24 MLAs.
Well, you know, you're saying that Selvam is the media's candidate for chief ministership. Frankly, I don't think most of us, at least I don't care whether it's Palanisamy or Selvam. Let's talk brass tacks. Someone has been convicted, will probably spend 4 years in jail, and you are saying that her nominee has every right to become chief minister. So this will be just like Jayalalithaa. What Jayalalithaa did when she went to jail, Sasikala is attempting, and you, Dr. Swamy, seem to be endorsing that, believing that this is the right step forward. Isn't it time that Sasikala just simply stepped out of politics? Because she, in a sense, today really finds herself persona non grata.
Well, that may be, but the MLAs have listened to her advice and voted for Swamy. That's important. They are the elected representatives. They are the ones who have to decide. And if tomorrow Sonia Gandhi says to the Congress, elect Rahul Gandhi as Vice President, they'll all elect him. And they have elected him. And I don't see you protesting on that. The issue is why make Sasikala an exception. She is the rule today in Indian politics. It's a sad situation, but it's there. And the climate is such that if there is even one rebel, the media makes him out to be some kind of a person who is trying to destroy the party. So everybody is now forced and compelled to fall in line. That is the problem today. It's no use blaming Sasikala. She is a part of the system, not foisting on the system.
But what does it say? What does it say about our political system, Dr. Swamy, that even after her conviction today, the fact that she will have to go to jail, more than 100 MLAs are still supporting her. Do you believe that she is holding them by force, as is being alleged by Mr. Selvam, or do you believe she genuinely has the support? What explains the fact that more than 100 MLAs are still parked in that resort as we speak with Sasikala?
Well, that's why I say Selvam is the media candidate, because the High Court had asked the Police Commissioner to go and check whether the MLAs are happy. And the High Court also posed a question to the petitioners. Why is it that no relatives of these MLAs are objecting? You are objecting, but none of the relatives are objecting. Then the Police Commissioner went and spoke to every MLA there and got their signatures, and he came and gave a report on an affidavit to the High Court that they are, all of them are according to their own wishes. There's nobody who is being compelled to stay there. Now, despite that, you go on saying they are put in a room, they are shut up there. In fact, one relative interviewed in the Tamil channels said that we are very happy that they are staying there. Otherwise, our house was getting flooded with media people and all kinds of people coming, and we were not getting any peace, and let them be there till the matter is settled. So these have to be taken into account instead of going on making out as if Sasikala has put them all in slavery. And Selvam is the knight on the white charger.
You are calling, Dr. Swamy, let me get a sense then from you. There is also a belief today, as I speak, that Jayalalitha's photographs will also now have to be removed. Jayalalitha's photographs will have to be removed from all official buildings. There's a question mark over a memorial, because at the end of the day, she has now been convicted. So do you believe that her photographs can no longer now be there in official buildings, that her memorial also is under question? Is this the end, in your view, of the Jayalalithaa legacy as well, Dr. Swamy?
All Manmohan Singh's photographs have been removed by government order. Anytime the person ceases to hold an office, their photographs are removed. And therefore, Jayalalithaa is no more in office, and therefore her photograph have to be removed.
The earlier AIDMK government, Mr. Selvam, had kept her photographs on every government building. We are now told, please understand, Dr. Swamy, and I think our viewers, you'll know better than most, but our viewers realize it's not just Sasikala who's been convicted. Effectively, Jayalalithaa also has been convicted today. So the belief is that her photographs, her memorial will all come under the scanner. Do you believe that?
No, I don't know about the memorial. I don't know it is under whose thing. It's a memorial which I don't think Indian sentiment anyone disturb. But as far as government buildings is concerned, whether she is convicted or not, photographs have to be removed. That is the government order as far back as 1954. And if he ceases to be a chief minister, photographs have to be removed. It has happened with every prime minister in Delhi. I don't understand why you should make it an exception for Jayalalithaa.
Let me ask you, Dr. Swamy, For the last 20 years, in a way, you've been fighting this battle. Was it a personal crusade for you against Jayalalithaa, someone with whom you have also had close relations? You've had a blow-hot, blow-cold relationship with her. Today, you seem to have a blow-hot, blow-cold relationship with Sasikala. You actually seem to be suggesting last week to me that Sasikala should have been invited by the governor to form the government. Do you believe that the governor did the right thing in hindsight, given the court judgment? Should he have invited Sasikala? Do you still stick to your original stand that Sasikala should have been invited even if for only 5 days as Chief Minister?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anyone with a modicum knowledge of the Constitution, anybody with a modicum knowledge of the Constitution would have invited her. The governor flouted the Constitution by not inviting her on all these specious plea of waiting for some judge of event in the future. Once you start doing that, how can you be sure that the person whom you are going to invite to be a chief minister is not dead tomorrow in a traffic accident?
Can I ask you, as I said, that has this been a personal crusade for you for the last 20 years against Sasikala, against Jayalalithaa? Has this been about, and today to that extent do you believe you feel vindicated that you ran a personal campaign against them for the last 20 years? As I said, it was blow hot, blow cold. You were once an ally with Jayalalithaa. You helped her bring down a government, if I might remind you.
Yes, and you are doubting that I could do that also. That also I remember. But in any case, let me say that the mere fact that even while I was prosecuting her, she and I were allies. And she never asked me to withdraw the case, and I had told her the very first day when she came to my residence in Madras that she wanted me to help her fight Karunanidhi. I said, I can do that, but I will not withdraw the cases I have filed while you were Chief Minister. And she agreed, and she never raised the matter again. There was nothing personal. I have filed a case and I can't withdraw it, because then there will be no credibility left in fighting cases. So far I have never withdrawn any case that I have filed, and that is the track record I have had, and there is nothing personal. Fighting corruption is an end in itself. It's got nothing to do with whether I have an alliance or I don't have an alliance.
Let me ask you in conclusion, Dr. Swamy, today the governor of Tamil Nadu has 3 or 4 options. I'm going to list them on the screen. Option number 1, sir, is he calls for what is called a composite floor test, where both Mr. Palaniswamy and O. Paneerselvam are given an equal chance to prove their majority on the floor of the House. Option number 2, Dr. Swamy, is that he invites one of the two, either Mr. Palaniswamy, who claims he has the support of over 100 MLAs, or he invites Mr. Paneerselvam, who is the caretaker chief minister. Option number 3, he asks the DMK to explore the possibility of forming a government. And option number 4, sir, is that he imposes president's rule. What do you believe is the most likely option, Dr. Swamy? And what would you like to see?
None of these options. The
None
only
of these
option
options.
is ask for a list of MLAs supporting you, and none of these options. Ask for a list. The 5th option, which you have not listed, is that he should ask for a list of MLAs supporting. Palaniswamy has already done that. Paneerselvam has not done it even once. I don't think he has any MLAs at all. It's only in the media that I see as so many MLAs are joining him.
You believe the governor should invite Mr. Palaniswamy to form the next government?
With signatures.
You believe the governor should invite Mr. Palaniswamy to form the next government? Because there is a belief that a section of the BJP wants president's rule in Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely.
Not full frame.
Well, who cares about a section? It's what the Constitution says. And I don't think the BJP as a party, no, let me complete. BJP as a party or a government has any view on this at this stage. They have not considered this matter. They have considered this as a constitutional issue.
So I'm going to leave it there. You're very clear in your mind. You believe that Mr. Palaniswamy has the numbers, and you believe therefore he should be invited. You're not in favor of president's rule or a composite floor test. Dr. Swamy, all I can say is that you proved once again that you are a tough nut to crack, because for the last 20 years you've been battling on this issue. and today you can claim a degree of quiet satisfaction. I've always been told, don't make Dr. Subramaniam Swamy a friend, but even more so, don't have him as an enemy. And maybe today, in a sense, that's the mistake at some stage that Sasikala, Natarajan and Jayalalithaa made when you took them on. As you smile and beam, Dr. Swamy, thank you very much for joining me and giving me where you stand on this issue. Thanks very much. Okay, let me go straight to our reporters, because at the moment, we are now told that Mr. Selvam has gone to the governor and he too is taking a claim to form a government, and he too wants to be invited to form a government. Also joining me from the Golden Bay Resorts is our correspondent Akshaya Nath. Padmaja Joshi is at the residence of O. Selvam. Padmaja, tell us, is O. Selvam going to formally stake his claim to form a government in the manner that Mr. Swamy has at the moment?
Hasn't done that today, Rajdeep. In fact, he did send his emissaries. You had Mr. Pandian and Mr. Maitreyan both going and meeting the governor in the evening, a little before 7. But right now, just a few minutes ago, we had this huge flurry of activity. You see now, he also came out and met the cadre of the of his camp of the AIADMK. They had a short meeting with him, and after that, in this entire convoy, he has sped off. But right now what we are hearing is that he has gone for the memorial. He has gone to the memorial of Jayalalithaa at Marina. So he has gone to Amma Samadhi. So perhaps another moment where there is going to be a conversation between Amma's spirit and O. Selvam, just the way that she spoke to Sasikala maybe.
Okay, but well, spirit is not enough to form a government. You need numbers. I want to know where the numbers are. Akshaya, you are at the resort. Can you tell me where Sasikala is at the moment? Is she still in the resort? And how many MLAs are still there with her?
Well, Rajdeep, Sasikala is still inside the resort, and they have been telling us that more than 127 MLAs are backing them and are inside. But Rajdeep, I need to bring to your notice what is actually happening here at the resort right now. There's a huge dramatic scenario unveiling here with the press, media, video and photojournalists standing here and protesting against the kind of incidents that are happening inside. Earlier, half an hour back, we were invited, the camera crew were invited to go in and take the visuals, but it was seen that many of the journalists were attacked by people inside. And right now, these media people have started protesting, saying they're not going to cover any of the incidents that are going to happen outside the Golden Bay Resort, and also seeking that the person who were actually responsible for beating up the camera crew
Akshaya,
should come.
I'm going to hold you, because joining me now is another newsmaker. I'm joined by the Attorney General now. Mukul Rohtgi is joining me. Mr. Rohtgi, I appreciate your joining us. You're the one who now, in a sense, has to also pass on some advice to the Governor of Tamil Nadu. And I think the country needs to know, what is the advice that the Attorney General is giving the Governor today? Is it for a composite floor test where every side is allowed to test his or her majority on the floor of the House? Or do you believe Mr. Swamy, who has actually staked formally claim and claims to have the support of more than 110 MLAs at least, should be invited to form the government?
Look, I had given a written opinion to the governor yesterday, before the judgment was slated for today, that he could go for a composite floor test, as was done in the case of Mr. Jagdambika Pal and Mr. Kalyan Singh. But you must understand, this is the discretion of the governor. If the governor is satisfied that one particular group has a much larger number behind their leader, a governor can swear in that person and then ask him to prove his majority on the floor of the House. Or if the governor is not sure or satisfied that one group is larger than the other, then he can have a floor test in a special session and ask both the rival groups to fight it out, so that the larger number and the leader of the larger number appears. But you must understand, whichever course he follows, the final test is always on the floor of the House, political activity must be determined and decided within the confines of the assembly. So these are the two courses which are open to the governor. In his discretion, he will use one or the other, but as I told you, the final position must be shown on the floor of the House.
Sir, given the uncertainty though, given the conflicting claims that are being made by both sides, given the argument that MLAs are being coerced and kept in custody in a resort, does the governor have another option, which is President's rule, that he will keep the assembly in suspended animation till any one of the sides is able to conclusively prove to him that he or she has the numbers?
No, listen, I don't think there is any case for President rule. This is fight for succession within a party. It is not one party pitted against another party. There is no question of anti-defection. The AIDMK has a comfortable majority in the House. All these events are fights for succession after their supreme leader passed away. This fight for succession can be sorted out on the floor. As I told you, there was a precedent of Jagdambika Pal, and the governor and the police will ensure that all MLAs are freely escorted or allowed to proceed to the assembly on the given day, which could be in a couple of days, so that they can fearlessly and fairly vote according to their conscience and point towards a particular leader. And if out of the two rival camps and two rival claimants, one has a larger majority, he will become the chief minister. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else left.
No, you're saying it's as simple as that, but as you know, what's happening in Tamil Nadu is hardly simple. MLAs, according to one group, are being kept in forcible custody by the other. It is also possible, sir, that the party splits on the floor of the House, because you could have a situation where the party loses its majority on the floor of the House. Remember, they have, and I'll come to the numbers in a moment on the big screen. The fact is, in the total House strength, sir, of 235, the magic number is 118. The AIDMK has 135 at the moment. The DMK 89, Congress 8, vacant 1, nominated 1. Now, if more than a dozen MLAs join, or 17 MLAs in all, join the Paneerselvam camp, then the government loses majority. My point to you, sir, is that is there a possibility that you actually now have a situation where no one has a majority in Tamil Nadu as a result? And that is where President's rule comes in. Is that a possibility at all or not?
No, please. No, there is no possibility. I think you are mixing up two issues. If, as you said, they have 135, which is more than the halfway mark. If a portion of the AIDMK legislators en bloc break away and go and join the DMK, by which AIDMK is reduced to a minority, it is in that situation that AIDMK government will fall and the question of anti-defection will arise. But that is not the situation at all. So we should look at the immediate step. Immediate step is to find the leader or the successor of this party who will be the chief minister of a group or a party which enjoys majority in parliament. There is no question of anything else happening at the moment.
Sir, can I ask you the one final question, and this is the troubling question. Has the governor prevaricated for too long? We are now on Tuesday. I know it's been a high voltage drama, and there are those who are saying that the governor must now reveal his mind. He has kept silent for too long. Now Sasikala has been convicted. Should he not reveal by midnight tonight what he intends to do? How long is he going to keep this state under this uncertain atmosphere?
Rajdeep, let us go. Yes. Let us go step by step.
Sir.
According to me, the governors wait for a week for the judgment of the Supreme Court. His stand has been completely vindicated. Because this judgment has now made one position clear, that Miss Sasikala is no longer available on the battlefield, number one. Number two, there is no constitutional embargo that he must decide in 1 day or 2 days because there is a caretaker chief minister in place. Number three, that now the judgment has come in the morning, you must give a person a day or 2 or 3 to reflect, look at the numbers, meet the conflicting groups, meet the rival claimants, and then he will take a call on one or the other options which I have indicated. So in a matter of 2 or 3 days, if things are done, I mean, heavens are not going to fall.
So I accept that heavens are not going to fall if the matters don't get sorted out in 2 or 3 days. But I must ask you this, sir. You are the country's top legal officer. And there is something that has troubled. There is something that has troubled a number of people. This was a case, sir, which was hanging fire, the disproportionate assets case, for almost a year. The court decides it within a week of Sasikala taking over as General Secretary of AIDMK. What are we to understand from it? And what am I to understand importantly about the Karnataka High Court, which completely acquitted Jayalalithaa and Sasikala despite the voluminous evidence that the Supreme Court has laid before the country today? What does it say somewhere, sir, about our judicial system? I'm sorry to ask this question to you today, but I must.
No. Listen, let me answer the second question first.
Sir.
Karnataka High Court did what it thought was right. And I must tell you, every single day, the trial court in a majority of or a fair number of cases is reversed by the High Court, and in a fair number of cases the High Court is reversed by the Supreme Court. We have a pyramidical structure. The pyramidical structure ends with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court itself has overruled or recalled its own judgments after a passage of time, acknowledging that they are wrong. Therefore, this is a tier system of finality. Wherever there is finality, that is the Supreme Court, and therefore their word is final, not necessarily correct every time. So there is nothing unusual in a judgment of the High Court being reversed by the Supreme Court. It happens across the world. The second question.
Yes.
I don't think it is proper to read anything or any motive in the timing of the judgment of the Supreme Court. It was pending, it's a huge case, but when it was mentioned by a counsel in the Supreme Court as to when the judgment is expected, because certain events have happened, the Supreme Court has risen to the occasion and given its judgment. The judgment has helped clear uncertainty. And I think the judgment and the timing of the judgment was very, very welcome. It has cleared a lot of doubts and a lot of controversies which were lingering.
No, I take your point, sir, but the judgment, many believe, could have been delivered much earlier. But more importantly, the fact is there has been this constant feeling that there was pressure on the judiciary. The Karnataka High Court, under pressure, acquitted Jayalalithaa. You don't believe that. You believe that the Karnataka High Court did what it had to do and the Supreme Court has done what it had to do. It is wrong on my part to interpret any motives.
There is no question of pressure. There is no question of motive. The judiciary in this country has broad shoulders. It has dealt with far, far more important cases than one person being convicted for 3 years or 5 years. Please understand, from the times when Mrs. Gandhi was unseated for unfair and corrupt practices, that is the level to which the judiciary has stood. So there is no question of these are all run-of-the-mill cases. It's only the media which has hyped them up. Every day, day in and day out, the courts are deciding death penalties, terrorist cases, so many other cases. Cases relating to triple talaq and all that are currently going on in the Supreme Court. They are very, very important cases. According to me, this is not that important at all.
I ask you one last question. Was any pressure put on the Tamil Nadu governor to keep this matter lingering till this court judgment by the centre? That the centre, under any circumstances, to be made chief minister, was there pressure put on the Tamil Nadu governor in any form at all?
I think it is a very unfair comment. When the governor decided to wait, because the Supreme Court said 1 week and the Supreme Court judgment has come within a week, his stand has been vindicated. Where is the question of any pressure? What has the centre to do with it? These are this is a fight for succession within one party. The centre is not a party, is not a major party there. The centre doesn't have a truck or an anti-truck with one of the two parties in Tamil Nadu. It was their internal thing which has been sorted out. That's all.
So you believe it will all be sorted out by the weekend, sir? You believe Tamil Nadu will have a chief minister by the weekend?
I am pretty sure about that.
You're pretty sure that Tamil Nadu will have a chief minister by the weekend who will clearly have the majority, you believe, through a floor test. Mukul Rohtgi, thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you and giving us clarity on a number of issues. Thank you very much for joining me here on the news today. I want to go straight to our magic wall. I'm going to tell you what's been happening in Tamil Nadu because a number of you need to realize the numbers now. It's now all about the numbers in Indian politics in Tamil Nadu. Take a look at these numbers. These are the numbers, the important ones to remember. The Tamil Nadu Assembly is 235, so the majority is 118. In the elections that were held in May 2016, the AIDMK got 135, the DMK 89, Congress 8, nominated 1, vacant 1. So AIDMK is 17 ahead of the majority. Now look at where the problems come. Problem number 1 is that O. Paneerselvam at the moment has 10 MLAs. So 135 becomes 125. That's just 7 above the majority. What happens next? What if Mr. Paneerselvam gets 8 more MLAs on his side? He can effectively reduce the strength of the AIDMK below the halfway mark. But remember, anti-defection laws will operate. Paneerselvam needs 2/3, which is 90. And according to the likes of Subramaniam Swamy, he just doesn't have the numbers. In that sense, it would seem to be advantage Palaniswamy unless the MLAs defect en masse to Paneerselvam. Well, where is Paneerselvam at the moment? The pictures on your screen are showing Paneerselvam has done the Jaya Memorial Act 2. He's gone to Jaya Memorial. Those are pictures coming in there. That's Paneerselvam is going there with his family, we are told, and other supporters of his, including the niece of Jayalalithaa, Deepa. They've all gone to Jayalalitha's memorial. So Paneerselvam is staging his own little bit of Tamil theatre there at the moment. That's what's happening at the moment in Chennai. Our guests are with us. They've been waiting patiently, listening to what Mr. Rohtgi had to say. We'll be joined by them. Seshadri Chari, K.S. Geeta, Khushbu and Sanjay Hegde, among others, will join us. Let's take a break and we'll return with plenty more. Ask them the big questions. What's next in Tamil Nadu? Who becomes the chief minister? Kaun banega Mukhyamantri? I don't know how you say it in Tamil, but that's what is the big question confronting one of India's crucial states. Back in a moment, memorial at Marina Beach. That's the action that's going on in Chennai at the moment, even as his rival, Mr. Palaniswamy, his new rival, the Sasikala nominee, has gone to the governor and staked claim to form a government. Let's go across to our guests at the moment. I gave you the numbers before the break. Who will form the next government? Soli Sorabji joining me, K. Geeta, who's been an opponent of Sasikala, formerly of the AIDMK, Khushbu, the Congress MP, and Seshadri Chari, BJP, Sanjay Hegde, lawyer, joining me. Soli Sorabji, what are the governor's options now? Should the governor now end the uncertainty and invite Mr. Palaniswamy, who has gone formally and staked claim, or does he need to again investigate whether the MLAs who Palaniswamy claims he has are being kept forcibly in the resort or not? What should the governor do, sir?
I think, Rajiv, the governor should have a session and have a protest. Very clear. Because now there is no question of 2 different Supreme Court judgments. He should have a floor test, and depending on the outcome of the floor test, is appoint that person as a chief minister. Of course, provided if that person doesn't have any disqualification under Article 192. But otherwise, no use waiting further. Now, the thing is clear.
Yes.
Have a floor test, see majority, who was the majority, call that person and make him the chief minister.
No, does he swear in the person before the floor test?
Doubt about that.
Sir, sorry to intervene. Does he swear in the person before the floor test, or should he first do what is being suggested, a composite floor test where both sides are invited?
Yeah, composite floor test with a secret ballot. I think that will be the best course for the governor.
Composite floor test with a secret ballot will be the best course for the governor. Let me see if my other panelists are agreeing with that. Seshadri Chari, do you also agree? Time has come now. End the uncertainty. Composite floor test with a secret ballot. Let Palaniswamy and Paneerselvam, OPS and EPS, fight it out on the floor of the House.
I think so, because I think floor test of course is agreeable. It has to be done to a floor test. There is no other alternative as far as floor test is concerned, and it has to be a secret ballot. That is also quite agreeable. But when it comes to composite floor test, the contours of composite floor test will have to be first earmarked, and the governor will have to explain what the stages are going to be, because now for that particular purpose he will have to write to all the MLAs. Basically the MLAs are not available in the MLA hostel, they are not available in their houses, they are, I mean, if you
they can be brought under
side,
police protection. They can be brought under police protection, sir, in the next 24 hours to the Tamil Nadu Assembly.
Yes.
I mean, this is, you know, we cannot,
yes.
I mean, Tamil Nadu also is not yet a police state. Surely, the MLAs are free citizens. They have to be brought under police protection to the Assembly, fixed time, secret ballot, finish it off.
It can be done, but as Chief Minister, Panneerselvam is the acting Chief Minister, and the police comes under the acting Chief Minister. I do not know if the police force comes under the Governor. So who is going to order the police chief? Today some of the people belonging to Panneerselvam's group went all the way to meet the MLAs and they were not allowed to meet.
That's an interesting point.
Now it is the Chief Minister asking some of his people to go and meet them, and the police commissioner says it is 144, you cannot go. So who is going to tell the police commissioner? Therefore I think the governor will have to take the whole thing into his hands. So composite floor test, does it allow the governor to tell the police commissioner to do what he wants the police commissioner to do? That is another constitutional issue.
Can I for a moment look at it politically? Politically, it appears that the AIDMK is imploding at the moment. Khushbu, is that something which should give you and others some sense of satisfaction, or is it a troubling moment for Tamil Nadu? The great party of the party of the great MGR is imploding and is involved in this bitter war of succession. Do you believe that this should be settled as is being suggested on the floor of the House, or should fresh elections be called?
I think we'll have to give it to the governor, as our former Attorney General, Sorabji sir has said. There should be a composite floor, on the floor, and we need to decide who has the power, who has the majority of the MLAs. Both the fractions have been claiming that they have the majority, though OPS seems to be the clear choice of the people of Tamil Nadu. But then we have to go by the law, and then when you look at the law, as Mr. Palaniswamy claims that he has 125 MLAs with him, the right thing would be to have a floor test and they have suggested, do it under a secret ballot and get it done.
So
but then we also have to look into it. There's all these 125 MLAs, they are still at the resort. No, we'll have to go one by one. If this is going to solve the problem, as AIDMK still has 4 years to go, if this is going to solve the problem, then law takes its own course. Law has to take its own course. We have seen law, people's faith being reinforced in the law this morning. So law has to take its own course. If governor is going to decide floor test is the right option, then I think we need to go by that. But we also have to see how come those 125 MLAs who have been hijacked or kept at, imprisoned, I would rather say, at the resort, how come they have not come back to the city as yet?
Can I hold you to that thought?
Back to the city as yet? Why is it Palaniswamy not bringing them back to the city as yet?
You make a good point, because even as you say that, Sasikala has left the Golden Bay Resort where she has been since last night, apparently keeping a watch on the MLAs. We don't know when she will surrender. She's likely to file, we are told, a review petition and fight it out. Very little chance though of her avoiding a jail term now. But I want to ask you that, Ms. Geeta, because you have been a critic of Sasikala. At the end of the day, she is holding these MLAs at the resort, and Mr. Palaniswamy, who is her nominee, is claiming he has their support. So it could be Sasikala ruling Tamil Nadu even by remote control from jail. Is that a fear that you have?
Rajdeep, first I would like to correct you. I am not a former member. I am still a member of the AIDMK. And secondly, I think I agree with Saurabhji sir as well as Seshadri sir that there should be a composite floor test. But in the present scenario, both the people, both EPS and OPS are two sides of the same coin. And you know, if you see the body language of Sengotian, he's quite he's having a disgruntled look. He's so upset that, you know, he's been expecting to be the candidate instead of EPS. And, you know, he's been a longer term MLA, more terms than EPS. And it's going to be a bloodshed.
Madam, at the end of the day, the numbers are with, Madam, I must intervene.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, as of today, Mr. Palaniswamy has the numbers.
Opinion. No, the governor has also asked for the people's opinion. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. And we are all going to write to him.
Madam, this has to be settled on the floor of the House. This cannot be settled in television studios or through public opinion.
If it fails there, then it's going to be a suspended animated assembly. That's for sure. I think that's what is going to head.
Let's
heading towards that.
Sanjay Hegde, let's be clear. Soli Sorabji has set the rules, as has the Attorney General earlier on my show. Both of them are saying floor test, the only way out to settle this. If necessary, composite floor test, or if Mr. Palaniswamy has the numbers, then he must be invited. Let's be clear. Should Mr. Palaniswamy, who claims that he has the numbers, prove the numbers? Merely because 126 MLAs are in the resort, doesn't mean all 126 are supporting him. Should he ask those MLAs to be paraded before him? Have we reached that stage? Or simply under police escort, taken to the Tamil Nadu Assembly tomorrow, have a secret ballot and finish this off?
Let's be clear what we're talking about. We are talking about the legislature. The legislature as an institution seems to be suffering in this clash of institutions. The governor and everybody seems to be running a coach and horse through it. First and foremost, there is something called the Anti-Defection Act. You cannot have a secret ballot. Because otherwise you might as well scrap the Anti-Defection
There was
Act.
a secret ballot in 1998 in UP, Mr. Hegde. Between Jagdambika Pal and Kalyan Singh, there was a secret ballot in 1998. Why can you not have it?
That. That was by a court order when there were two chief ministers sworn in. Are you telling me that along with the OPS, you are also going to get EPS sworn in, install the two of them sitting side by side as both chief ministers and then have a composite floor test? That was an extraordinary situation, and that was by a court order.
Extraordinary situation?
Judgment which was
this
quite
is an
severely
extraordinary
criticized.
situation as well.
We are living in a parliamentary democracy. But then get a court order for that, because otherwise in a parliamentary democracy we know of only one thing. You have a motion of confidence which says this House expresses its confidence in the Council of Ministers led by the Chief Minister, or that this House expresses its no confidence. So that necessarily implies that there is somebody who is a Chief Minister. That Chief Minister goes to the House to satisfy people that he has the confidence of the House. You must remember that in this country, Charan Singh was sworn in as Prime Minister.
Right.
When it came to his turn to face Parliament, he could not prove and he resigned. The point is that the governor is not there to first have the floor test and then swear in a Chief Minister. You have to have a Chief Minister.
I take your point. Let me take that to Soli Sorabji.
Let the man
you make an interesting point, Mr. Hegde. Mr. Sorabji sir, what comes first? A composite floor test by its very nature, Sanjay Hegde is right there, will involve both the potential chief ministerial candidates sitting and asking for support without being sworn in. Is it necessary for one of them to be sworn in like Jagdambika Pal was, albeit for 2 days in Uttar Pradesh? Is it necessary for one of them to be sworn in and then the test takes place, or the test can take place without a swearing in?
Well, I don't know, Rajiv. This also is an extraordinary situation, and we have a precedent. In that case, why can't we follow it? I don't see what's really wrong with it, intrinsically wrong with it. It's not an ideal solution, but we have a precedent, and we have the situation in Tamil Nadu, which also cannot but be called extraordinary. So I think that's the correct thing. Have a composite protest with a secret ballot, that is sure, and then follow the outcome of the protest upon the person as the chief minister, provided he hasn't got any disqualification under Article 192, and there you solve it. So how long will it go on?
So your view,
At least that's my view.
So your view, Mr. Sorabji, is very clear. This cannot be prolonged anymore. You believe the governor at the very earliest. How much time are you willing to give the governor? Earlier you were willing to give him that week till the Supreme Court judgment was delivered today. How much more time can the governor now take in his discretion? Should he be actually examining these claims very carefully, possibly sending his people to the resort to find out what's happening there? Or should he now simply say, on so-and-so date, let's say on Friday this week, I'm having a composite test at 5 p.m. All MLAs have to be present. Let's see who has the majority.
Yeah, that's fine. Friday is not a very unreasonable time. He can do it on Friday. You can't tell the governor to do it on 48 hours this hour, but if you suggest Friday, Friday doesn't seem to be unreasonable. By that time it can be done. I don't know why not. Why do we foresee difficulties when none exists?
I think you've been very plain, as have most of our speakers. It's very clear now we are reaching end game in Tamil Nadu. This has gone for a long time. It's consumed a lot of airtime. It's kept the state in uncertainty. The government is in limbo. And all our guests are now saying the governor must have a composite floor test at the very earliest. At the very earliest is what is being suggested. Whether it should be through a secret ballot or not is open to question, but it will have to be done sooner rather than later. We're going to carry forward this discussion. We're going to go live once again to Chennai. Plenty of action taking place because Sasikala has left the resort. Where is Sasikala heading? Can she go back to Poise Garden and sleep a good night's sleep? Or is she preparing herself for the inevitable 4 years in jail? It could be the end of the road for Sasikala Natarajan, I'm afraid. We'll be back. As I said, howsoever big you are, the law eventually is bigger than you. Back in a moment.